welcome to thedigital-lifestyle.com, and on this video we're going to have a quick look at Samsung S3 or Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. So this is the smaller phone compared to the sort of flagship S3, which is being replaced by S4 soon, but this is the Mini. So we're going to have a look at just some of the stuff on it, and for a size comparison I've got here my Nexus 4 to give you an idea of the size. So this is the Nexus 4 and this is the Mini, so you can see the difference there. So it's a little bit bigger than a little bit smaller than an iPhone, just a bit smaller than this S4 here. So it's only 480 by 800. So I thought we'll have a quick look at what you can do with the phone. So here we have the S3 Mini. That's it compared to, say, my Nexus. Obviously it's smaller than the S3, but if you want a smaller phone, this is what it got. So look at the specs. It's got a 4-inch 480 by 800 screen, which is nice and clear and bright actually. 5 megapixel camera, which I think it was the 8 on the S3. It's got micro SD card, Jelly Bean at 4.1. It's got micro USB charging on there, and a headphone port on that. So the SD card, the micro SD card goes in there. So I've actually loaded that all with all my music. So while it's a 16 gig phone, I've got 32 gigs of SD card in there loaded up with music. In terms of battery performance, it's not bad. It's pretty good actually. Let's have a look. We can have a look at this one. I've ran this nearly 2 days now. We're just coming up to 24 hours, and been using it as well, so it's not been sat idle. And you can see the battery is just about running out when I've been doing some stuff on it at the start of the video. So you can see that it is getting a fairly decent charge. I charge my phones every day anyway, so that's not really an issue for me. I should also say as well, in the box you get a USB charger and a cable as well. It weighs about 123 grams, so nice and light. It's a bit plasticky. You know, you've got this plastic back on there, but it's light. And the one thing with having a small phone is something like, compared to something like a Galaxy Note, is it's fully one-handed. You can kind of reach the whole of the screen with one hand without any issues at all. As it's running Samsung's TouchWiz layer on top of standard Android, you do get a few niceties, although I must admit I do prefer standard Android. So you get things like direct dial. So if you're in a text message like that, say you're reviewing a text message, and then you pick the phone up, you'll be able to see this on the video. I'll put it to my ear. Let's show that again. So okay, there I'm in a text message. So I'm in a text message. I pick it up, put it to my ear. I can then, if I set always, let's pick the default action. It's actually going to call that number now. So let's show that again. So I could be in a message and think, oh, I'll call this person back. You just pick it up, put it to your ear, and it gives you a little vibrate, and then it starts to call it. So it's got one or two nice extra features that Samsung adding to it, which, you know, it's quite nice, that kind of stuff. I think it's got something called Smart Stay as well. So if you're browsing the internet and it uses the camera to track your eyes, or to check to see that there's some eyes on it now. So while we're recording this video, my eyes aren't in sight, line of sight, so it's why it keeps fading off. But if I had the phone in front of me, so in front of my face, it would stay on and wouldn't darken the screen and sort of power it down eventually. So that's a nice little feature as well. You've got all the Samsung apps as well. So you've got Samsung's own app store, which is quite good. I'm not quite sure why you'd want an app store on top of Android. Maybe it's, you think Samsung maybe check that these apps work okay on the Galaxy range or whatever, but I found there's very little difference in them. What's available on Android is available on here. If you have a lot of Galaxy devices, then maybe it's fair enough, you can purchase through here and share them between devices. Personally, I prefer to use the Android App Store, but you've also got these other Samsung apps like Game Hub, Video Hub, there, and these are essentially like Google Play, where you can purchase and rent movie content through say the Video Hub, or the Game Hub purchase games, and Music Hub purchase music. SIII, as I said, the SIII there is a app recommendation system. And the other thing we've got as well is S-Voice, which is Samsung's voice recognition app, which is a bit like Google Voice as well. Call home. There you go. So it's calling home. It's a nice add-on, especially if you're using it in the car or whatever. Then you can use it as for hands-free. Other things it's got, like I said before, we've got a 5 megapixel camera, which you can see is fairly reasonable. I'll show, perhaps show you better. It's also got a video mode on it as well. It's 720p videos that it records on there. In camera mode, you have a few effects, a few filters, like you can put it in sepia mode, black and white mode. I did find the images were a little bit washed out. This is an image I took yesterday, and it doesn't look too bad on here, but I found the images a little bit washed out. There is a video mode as well, like I said. So let's. This is an Android, being filmed on an Android. So that's now in the window. So effectively we can carry on and do something else and have that in a window. It's kind of the sort of the Samsung multi-window feature that's gone there. It doesn't seem to be as good as on the bigger tablets. There's also a front-facing camera on there as well, which records in VGA, which is great for sort of Skype or anything like that. Not particularly useful for pictures, but like I said, okay for Skype. As it's running Jelly Bean, you get things like Google Now. So all the searches that you've done, and you can see the travel reports and things like that as it's applicable. You've got things like Chat On, which is Samsung's chat app. You get a browser, the internet browser, but I always use Chrome anyway, so I've installed that. One great thing about Android is I just picked this and it just installed all my apps on there automatically when I set it up. I went through the wizard and sort of let it restore a backup, so it went through all my apps, and which worked really well. So that's a very quick look at the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. It's a lot lower spec. It's got slower processor, lower camera, smaller screen compared to its bigger brother. But then, you know, you get what you pay for. This I found on Amazon about 224 quid, opposed to sort of 400 quid for the S3. So, you know, you get what you pay for. Yes, the screen is smaller than something like a Nexus 4, or and certainly smaller than the Galaxy Note. It's even a bit smaller than an iPhone 4-inch screen on there. But for some people, they want the smaller screen, want a lower price screen. This is could be a great device. You've got SD card slot in there, running Jelly Bean, and it feels nice in the hand too. Thanks for watching this video. More videos on thedigital lifestyle.com.